we're gonna get started with the
And then they get different wrappers, like 90 years, 80 years old. There are no chocolates inside, just the wrappers.
I'll be back in a couple hours.
Like different types.
Chocolate, an irresistible, tantalizing pleasure. It's one of the most delicious treats loved around the world. But chocolate doesn't just happen. It doesn't start as a chocolate bar, a box of bonbons, or a sweet treat. For most of its fascinating history, chocolate actually was a drink, a beverage. So let's go back to the beginning. Chocolate. It starts with cacao trees in rainforests around the globe. These incredible places cover only 6% of the Earth's surface, yet they contain more than one-half of the world's plant and animal species. Rainforests possess the right kind of soil, hot temperatures, and humid conditions for excellent cacao growth. Rainforest conditions also produce a wide range of plant species.
Better known as the first ever Red Bull. Okay, that's what it was. It was an energy drink. That's how it started. After the Olmecs, the Aztecs came along. So these are the Aztecs, and they're definitely a little better known than the Olmecs. They started to take this fruit much more seriously. So first of all, it was considered a gift of the gods. Now they started to use the little cocoa beans as their currency. It was officially their money for 500 years. So money did grow on trees at some point, right? And Montezuma showed up. Montezuma, is that a name you heard about before? Maybe in history class. So I remember in history class, they taught us a little bit about Montezuma. I remember who was the leader of the Aztecs, something they don't teach us, who was our first ever chocoholic. So he was consuming an estimated 19 full cups of chocolate every single day. So I've never seen a cocoa pod before and tasted it. Maybe throughout my week, I have one or two people that have ever tasted a cacao fruit. Okay, it's a rare fruit, and the reason why not so popular. As much as it's edible, it's not too bad in its taste. We never really got also into it. So this is the shell. It's one of the things they do with the cocoa pod. So I'm going to pass you this so you can look at it. It's a real cocoa pod, fully dried out. If you properly dry it out, that's what it ends up looking like. But what size and colors? They do come in different colors like this, all to do with the maturity and sun exposure. Nothing to do with flavor, type, or kind, okay? With that said, there are three different types of variety. So there's the Forastero, Criollo, and Trinitario. Those are the three types of cocoa beans that exist today. You guys came to the chocolate museum, so I'm sure you guys like chocolate. Now, how much do you pay attention to the quality in your chocolate? Where it started growing thousands of years ago. But in the 1700s, when we brought it over here, very cheap land, as well as the huge demand we had in Europe, the only demand that we had for chocolate was here, brought up so much production there. Slowly it's decreasing. This last year it went down to 50%, but we still say 70% because the majority of cocoa beans will come from right here. Okay. Now it does grow all around the tropical equator, so all those three, including the Criollo, the fine and flavorful beans, that's a good quality chocolate. Okay, but the most expensive bean. It can cost you up to $30 for one chocolate bar. And you're ending up with a result like this. So feel free to smell it or touch it. Just don't eat it, okay? Or you can just take a look at it. What are we looking at there? It is only the cacao fruit, okay? So let me explain to you. You guys see those little pieces? You see that? Like marshmallow-looking pieces. Each of those is one of the cocoa bean, but still surrounded with that fresh fruit. So when you taste it, you take one of those pieces, you put it in your mouth, you kind of suck on it, and then once you're done sucking on it and you feel like the bean is getting closer, you spit out the bean. These are really tough to bite when they're raw. That's mostly the reason why you don't want to swallow it. If you swallow it, nothing's going to happen to you, but they're really not good to eat when they're raw. So the first thing we do with the cocoa beans, dry them out fully, send them over to factories, and there they will do the roasting process, okay? Now, a lot of people compare chocolate to coffee. There's not much comparison there, okay? They're really different, and when it comes to roasting cocoa beans, you pretty much almost have to burn them. So that's why when they put them on the fire and they got burnt there, they were able to eat them and they tasted just probably almost as much as these did, right? So if you were to taste some cocoa beans, technically, yes, they're fully edible. Please don't eat my beans. you're not gonna like them. They're bitter, they're dry, and yes, they're fully edible. But if you were to eat about 20 of those, what's gonna happen? You're gonna feel a lot of energy. Okay. You guys have heard of caffeine being in chocolate.
Yeah.
So we're gonna learn something new. So there is caffeine in chocolate, but it's only very small amounts. What gives us energy in chocolate is called theobromine. It's a component that's specifically only found in chocolate. Now there's studies of it giving us energy like caffeine does, but also getting us in a good mood. Your bowls, your yogurt, your ice cream if you want to. Not so healthy anymore, but it will make things strong. If you buy a bag of cocoa nips, you're gonna be surprised that if you do that, turn on the blender, and about 5 minutes later, you're going to notice how all those cocoa nips start becoming a chocolate paste. We're not adding anything to it. It's just the cocoa nips are getting all blended together for long enough until it becomes this muddy chocolate paste that you can dry out into blocks or into forms or into balls. Let it dry out there for a couple of days. That is your baker's chocolate. Just like that, we get baker's chocolate. You guys ever tasted baker's chocolate before? How was it? No? Okay, so one day you'll make that mistake and taste some baker's chocolate. It's dark chocolate, but without any sweetness there. Do you guys remember eating a really, really bitter piece of dark chocolate one day? Some of us? Okay, now imagine eating that piece, but never reaching that sweet point, right? That's baker's chocolate, so it's even worse. Now it's raw chocolate, that's a version of raw chocolate. From that point, we start making good chocolate. Believe it or not, what we do is we separate that into two components in Spain, and then also Queen Anne of Austria shows up. She's our second ever chocoholic. So she had a lot to do with the history of chocolate. First of all, she was drinking about 25 little cups of those every single day.
Wow.
Now something interesting happened, okay? Average lifespan back then, 40s and 50s. That was it. She made it until the age of 65. So maybe we should be drinking more chocolate, right? Now, she brought chocolate to France and falls in love with King Louis. King Louis the 13th. Right over there, we have a picture of him there. He was a king of France, a really popular person. Many stories about them too. It's a great love story. He was the one to bring her all those cocoa beans from South America. 40 years old. Wow. Breaking down all those beans into refined little cocoa nips, and then the shell gets separated. We take only the nips, put those into a type of mixer, start making your baker's chocolate. And from there, we start making your good chocolate. Now, if you guys like chocolate-covered almonds, chocolate-covered peanuts, chocolate-covered raisins, chocolate-covered coffee beans, right? All of those get made inside of a machine like this. They look exactly the same way today. Believe it or not, yes, not using copper. We're using stainless steel nowadays, but it's a tumbling machine. All it does is it rotates. You put whatever you want to lay down there. Your chocolate gets poured there slowly, covers everything perfectly up. Machine is what I call it because that's really its purpose. We make powdered sugar into to mix it with your chocolate. Okay, regular sugar doesn't melt down well to see this grainy result, and also powdered milk. Not regular milk is used to make your milk chocolate. It's powdered milk only. Did you guys know that? Right? It's interesting to think that. But yeah, that one is an 80-year-old KitchenAid. Just kidding, not a KitchenAid. We got more creative with chocolate, and it is from Switzerland, where Mr. Lin was working in the same type of factory where we found this machine. Things like nuts, caramel, and fruits. Those were the first things we ever put into chocolate bars. Nowadays, you will find crazy stuff like chocolate-covered bacon, cheddar cheese, chocolate bars we have out there, which are pretty good. And 90% of all major chocolate factories. Yeah, so caramel is really popular with chocolate. This is a tempering machine. You guys are chocolate enthusiasts. Have you ever tried to make chocolate at home? Yeah, a couple of us? Okay, well, it's difficult to do. The tempering process is part of it. You warm up the chocolate, slowly it starts looking beautiful and shiny like the picture above, and then slowly cool it down. Now it gets, so truffles mainly, like the picture above, are made there. Anything gets covered up in chocolate there, pretzels, marshmallows, strawberries. But yeah, that's it for that machine. It's really efficient. Anyone seen the episode from I Love Lucy here? No, it's a really fun episode, and they're using one of those machines. We have a poster of it outside. You'll see it in a second. But that's it for our last machine. I think we're ready for a sculpture room, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the sculpture.
ये सब चॉकलेट में से ही बनवाया देखिए सिंबल टेम्पल, वो लोगों ने बताया वो चॉकलेट मत का है ये। स्टैच्यू ऑफ लिबर्टी, ईस्टर आइलैंड स्टोन स्टैच्यूज, देखिए सब कुछ चॉकलेट में से ही बनवाए। Oh, the sculpture, Chichen Itza in Mexico. Yeah.
See what it
उसके बाद
is.
ताज महल, white chocolate. ये Japanese pagoda, geisha. This is the Mount Rushmore. We need to go there one day.
Yep, it's in bucket list.
South Dakota में है Mount Rushmore. ये सब US presidents है. देखिए
અત્યારે ઠીક છે આટલું બધું પણ આ તો અહીંયા બધા ઓકે ઠીક છે ખબર છે પણ આ તો અમેઝિંગ
ये सब इधर चॉकलेट बन रहा है. देखिए अंदर नहीं जा सकते. ये सब सैंपल के लिए रखा है. इधर देखेंगे. कुछ बैरक की तरह दिखता है. Great Wall of China. Windmills, Netherlands. Eiffel Tower. सब कुछ चॉकलेट में से बना. Venice. Saint Basil's Cathedral. That Acropolis of Athens. Like it's a Big Ben. And Big Ben England में है. Pretty popular tourist spot.
This is our bucket list, right?
Yeah, this is a castle, Germany. Oh, I would love to go there. Wow. Germany is full of castles.
All right, everybody have any questions for me?
Like this is all the animals,
Yeah,
birds.
all these were made by two chocolatiers from Austria. They're professionals at it. They're not from here, but they were hired for this project. And yeah, they created every single one of them. Now, if you're wondering how they're made, every single one of them has different techniques. So it's not like an ice sculpture. Some of them are carved like the one here, but most of them are done in pieces. So it's just individual small little chocolate pieces, and then it's all put up like a custom. So slowly you start putting stairs and stuff like that. The color, you notice on the sculpture is edible based cocoa butter color. It's fully edible. It's color that's used in pastry making and mostly on those truffles you saw up front, also made out of chocolate, which is nice.
So how long you can keep these?
These expiration date wise, when it comes to baker's chocolates, 15 years. Now these being sculptures, what will be done with them? They get melted down and remade or done something else. It's not chocolate that will be eaten any time, but it does get cleaned up. It gets melted and then it gets reused for sculpture. Yeah.
And what temperature you need to maintain in this room?
Now to maintain it at 72 degrees is the right temperature. No temperature below that. If we put temperature below 70 degrees, the chocolate gets dried out, it gets white, it starts cracking, which is not good. Sometimes moisture is good for the chocolate temperature. So yeah. But yeah, we're getting ready for this sampling room. You guys can join me this way. So yeah, follow me down this way. For the sampling room, you guys can go ahead and grab your tray. Yes, you do grab a tray. Keep in mind, these do have nuts if you have any allergies. So yeah, you can go ahead and grab your tray. As you do grab your tray, I'm going to ask you guys to sample behind this side over here, facing me, and the little cup as well. So each of you can grab a tray as well as the little cup. And if you want to start with the cup to get rid of it, it's the key lime truffle that's homemade. So you can go ahead and sample that if you like to. It is a truffle that's made right behind you, and it just came out right now, so it's super fresh. So you can taste that to start off your palate. It's a key lime white chocolate truffle, okay? And in the trays, I'm going to explain to you what we sample as we sample them, so we all know exactly what we're having. So first things first, the chocolate bars you're taking a look at here are all made with that really expensive cocoa bean we talked about, the Criollo bean. So these chocolates are award-winning, some exceptional brands out there, and we're gonna start off with the white chocolate. The white chocolate on the left is the first one we're tasting. Yeah, great idea.
How is it?
Taking pictures of the ones you like.
Good.
Now, of course, you can do sell all of those bars you looked at there.
अच्छा है मेरा भी लिया आपने
अच्छा है बहुत अच्छा है
तीनों कर लेंगे एक How was it, the tour?
Yeah.
How was the tour?
Yeah, good.